May the peace of the Lord be with you all. Today's Gospel Reflection, August 31st, 2025, Sunday.
My child, conduct your affairs with humility, and you will be loved more than a giver of gifts. Humble yourself the more, the greater you are, and you will find favor with God. What is too sublime for you, seek not. In two things beyond your strength search not. The mind of a sage appreciates proverbs, and an attentive ear is the joy of the wise. Water quenches a flaming fire, and alms atone for sins.
Responsorial Psalm. God, in your goodness you have made a home for the poor. The just rejoice and exult before God. They are glad and rejoice. Sing to God, chant praise to his name. Whose name is the Lord. God, in your goodness you have made a home for the poor. The father of orphans and the defender of widows. Is God in his holy dwelling? God gives a home to the forsaken. He leads forth prisoners to prosperity. God, in your goodness you have made a home for the poor. A bountiful rain you showered down, O God, upon your inheritance. You restored the land when it languished. Your flock settled in it. In your goodness, O God, you provided it for the needy. God, in your goodness you have made a home for the poor. Brothers and sisters, you have not approached that which could be touched, and a blazing fire and gloomy darkness, and storm and a trumpet blast, and a voice speaking words such that those who heard begged that no message be further addressed to them. No, you have approached Mount Zion, and the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and countless angels in festal gathering, and the assembly of the firstborn enrolled in heaven, and God the judge of all, and the spirits of the just made perfect, and Jesus, the mediator of a new covenant, and the sprinkled blood that speaks more eloquently than that of Abel.
The Holy Gospel according to Luke. On a Sabbath Jesus went to dine at the home of one of the leading Pharisees, and the people there were observing him carefully. He told a parable to those who had been invited, noticing how they were choosing the places of honor at the table. When you are invited by someone to a wedding banquet, do not recline at table in the place of honor, a more distinguished guest than you may have been invited by him. And the host who invited both of you may approach you and say, "Give your place to this man." And then you would proceed with embarrassment to take the lowest place. Rather, when you are invited, go and take the lowest place, so that when the host comes to you he may say, "My friend, move up to a higher position." Then you will enjoy the esteem of your companions at the table. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. Then he said to the host who invited him, "When you hold a lunch or a dinner, do not invite your friends or your brothers, or your relatives or your wealthy neighbors, in case they may invite you back and you have repayment. Rather, when you hold a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind. Blessed indeed will you be because of their inability to repay you, for you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." The Gospel of the Lower. Reflection. For most people, recognition and status are often seen as measures of success. We live in a culture that values titles, positions, and public applause. Social media platforms encourage us to showcase achievements, carefully curate our image, and sometimes compete for likes and attention. Yet Jesus once gave a teaching that turns this mindset upside down. True greatness is found not in seeking the highest place for ourselves, but in choosing humility and lifting others up. Imagine a wedding reception. Guests are eager to find the best seats, closest to the couple or to important figures. The unspoken rule is that sitting near the front shows your importance, but what happens when someone assumes a seat of honor, only to be asked to move for someone more distinguished? The embarrassment is unforgettable. On the other hand, those who quietly take the lesser seats are sometimes invited closer by the host, honored precisely because they did not grasp for honor themselves. This principle applies far beyond banquets. In the workplace, we sometimes see people pushing their way into the spotlight, eager to take credit for every success. But genuine leaders often rise not because they demand recognition, but because they consistently serve, support their team, and put others first. When promotions come, they are honored naturally because their humility has built trust and respect. Think also of community service. Some volunteer so that their names are announced, their pictures displayed, or their donations recognized. Others quietly give their time, money, and energy without expecting acknowledgement. Ironically, Those who serve in secret often leave the deepest impact. Their actions speak louder than recognition ever could. Jesus' teaching also addresses how we treat those who cannot repay us. In life, it is easy to be generous to those who might benefit us later, like networking with influential people, hosting friends who can return the favor, or helping those who may advance our own interests. But the real test of generosity is whether we extend kindness to those who can give us nothing in return. Consider the difference between two dinner hosts. One fills his table with prominent guests, expecting future invitations in return. Another fills hers with the lonely, the poor, or those forgotten by society. The first host may gain social benefits, but the second touches hearts in a way that echoes into eternity. Real greatness is measured not by what we gain back, but by what we give freely. In a modern sense, this could be as simple as mentoring a young colleague who cannot advance your career, befriending someone who is socially awkward and often overlooked, or supporting a struggling family who has nothing to offer you in return. These acts may never be celebrated on a stage, but they reflect the heart of God's kingdom. This teaching invites us to reimagine success. Instead of racing for the spotlight, we are called to live with humility, content to serve faithfully. Instead of giving only when there is a return on investment, we are challenged to give generously to those who may never pay us back. In doing so, we reflect the character of Christ, who gave his life for us when we had nothing to offer in return. So let us ask ourselves, where in life do we seek recognition instead of service? Do we give only to those who can return the favor? Or do we extend kindness to those in need, expecting nothing back? The way of humility is not easy, but it brings true joy, peace, and honor in God's eyes. Greatness is not found at the head of the table, nor in the applause of the crowd. It is found in the quiet acts of humility and generosity that may go unseen by others, but are deeply treasured by God. May we live each day seeking not to exalt ourselves, but to lift others up.